Good morning. This is a presentation about the Bachelor of Software Engineering intended for those who are planning to or thinking about applying for this program for the academic year 2025-2026. And in this presentation, I will be talking about the opportunity you have if you complete this program, as well as the challenges that you may face while doing the program based on your background, and the support that the Open University will provide for you to overcome these challenges. I am Dr. Nalin Vikramanayaka of the Faculty of Engineering Technology. Before I get to the presentation, I will take 1 minute to point out some very useful features of YouTube, where this video is going to be hosted, to help you get the most out of this video. What you see here is a previous version of this video, and I want to point out the following features that are available on YouTube that we will be using. One is that if you click on more here, you will see, that is if the creator has created them, chapters. That means that if you want to go to any part of the video, you can just click on that and that section will begin, right? So you can always go back to any section of the video accurately without wasting time watching the whole video. Another thing that you can use is closed captions. That means subtitles. If you click this on, when I speak, you will hear
from its new employee
and read the same words that I am saying. If you want a transcript, you can click on Show Transcript and the transcript will appear here. And you can copy and paste it to any document you want, or you can read on this side while you're listening. But the most important and useful feature for most of you will be the automatic translations that are available on YouTube. And because of the developments in what we call artificial intelligence, they are now good enough that we do not have to make single-hand Tamil versions of our videos anymore. So to get the translation, you have to go to settings. You will see that this is now the subtitles are coming English auto-generated. You have to click on auto translate and select your language. For this case, I will select Sinhala, but you can select Tamil just as well. And now you will see the subtitles are going to come in Sinhala. Let us listen for a bit.
The technical field, they need their employees to have technical knowledge. However, that is important, but definitely not the only thing. They need the employees to have technical skills, and these skills are as important as knowledge.
So you will see that now the automatic translation coming from the artificial intelligence large language model that Google uses, Google is the owner of YouTube, is quite good enough for you to listen in English and read the Sinhala. This way you will understand what I am saying better, and you will also improve your English. Now let's get back to my presentation. This is the overview of the presentation. We will talk about the opportunities, then the challenges, and then explain to you how you learn at the Open University of Sri Lanka, because we are a very different university from any other university or educational institution in the country. Then we will come to the support that we expect to give you and tell you what we are going to do for you after your application. I will end with a summary and tell you how you can ask questions or obtain more information. Opportunity. In this country, we expect the software and IT related industries to be major drivers of growth in foreign exchange earnings. As I make this video, we are all aware that Sri Lanka is currently bankrupt. We have declared default and we are not paying our debts. To do that, we need foreign exchange, and this industry is seen as something that will help us do that. It is a globally competitive industry. The companies in Sri Lanka are not working in Sri Lanka. In fact, very little of their work is for Sri Lankan companies. Most of their work is for international companies. Therefore, they have to compete with the rest of the world to get this work. If you work with them, you will be also working at a global level. It's a rapidly changing industry. Therefore, the people who work there have to have very special skills that I will talk about. This industry is not exporting goods like tea or garments or gems. They are exporting knowledge products and services. It is often said by people in the industry that there are 100,000 jobs and no suitable applicants. This sounds like an inflated statistic, but there is some evidence that the jobs are available. I will now talk about why they are not being filled. What the industry needs is, first, I have listed technical knowledge. That is what you get from any academic program. You get technical knowledge. But while it is important, it is not the only thing. Technical skills are as important as knowledge. There is no point having the knowledge if you cannot put it into practice. You need communication skills in English, spoken English, written English, and also you have to be able to use the IT tools to do the communication. But beyond all of these three things, what the industry needs most is the following attributes. First of all, you must have a good attitude. If you are given a job, you must say, I will try to do it, without saying, I can't do that. It was not in the syllabus at my university or something like that. Once you take up the job, you should not complain about it. You should not try to pass the blame onto somebody else. You must take the responsibility. If you don't do it well, you have to say, okay, sorry, I will do it better next time. You have to be able to work in teams. It is very important in the software industry because almost everything now is done in teams. And very often your team members will even be outside Sri Lanka. You have to be flexible and adaptable. That means that you have to do new things when required. You have to change the way you do things when required. And you must be a lifelong learner because this is a fast developing industry. Every week there is some new development, some new software. You have to be able to acquire new knowledge and skills while you are doing your work. So these are the reasons why graduates are not hired or retained. Not so much because they don't have technical knowledge, but because they do not have the other attributes. And the biggest weakness is the attitudes. The industry will say the graduates who come for employment have a sense of entitlement. They expect, okay, they have graduated. Now they expect everything to be given to them. They wait to be told what to do and do only what is asked. That is not what the software industry needs. Okay? They have poor teamwork skills. They are quick to blame others for when the team fails. They are not adaptable. They cannot learn new things. And they have poor communication skills and also sometimes poor technical skills. So these are the reasons what the industry says are for having so many jobs where there are so many graduates, but they are not able to hire them and keep them. They hire them, they find they are not good and they don't retain them. So what's in it for you? If you come to the Open University and complete the software engineering degree, you will get to work in a globally competitive, fast-growing industry. You will have competitive salaries, and some of these are based on foreign exchange rates. So even if there is another economic collapse, you will still get a reasonable salary. A very important aspect of working in these companies is that when you are hired as a new employee, they will spend more developing you than they will actually pay you, because it is very important for them that you develop to the best level. So they will put in a lot of effort into training you, into having senior people look over your work and so on. It's a win-win situation. You get paid a salary, but you also get trained, and they get the best out of you. When you work in this industry, as I said, you are working for the whole world. Your skills are globally recognized. You can go and do the similar job in any other country, because our software industry is working for the whole world. Now let us talk about the software engineering program, the BSE, at the Open University of Sri Lanka, which is the OUSL. Our entry requirements are passers in any 3 advanced level subjects in any number of sittings. Now, when you count these 3 subjects, you cannot include general English and general IT. You can include the IT subject. It can be in any number of sittings. If you are from a background where you took the international advanced levels, then you need C grades in any 3 subjects. If you have diplomas and other higher level qualifications, you can come in at lateral entry. That means you do not start in the first year. You can start at a higher level based on what you have. You can see the guidebook for details. Now, in addition to these 3 A-level subjects, all people who come into the program, who apply for the program, including those with diplomas, must pass the selection test, which is on the 4th of January 2026. If you look at these entrance requirements, you will see that we are not requiring you to have done, for example, the physical science stream. We are not requiring that you have passed combined mathematics or the IT subject. Most other programs will require some of these subjects. So what are we saying? Are we saying that anyone with just 3 A-level passes, basic S passes in any 3 subjects can do the Bachelor of Software Engineering program? There must be a catch. That means there must be something not quite right with that statement. The catch is that the software engineering program is not for everyone. We think, and we have evidence now from senior students, that anyone with 3 A-level passes can do the program and be successful, but it is not for everyone. It is not, first of all, just another degree. You must come to this program only if you want to work in the software industry. If you want just a degree to get a job in the government, for example, you can do some other degree. If you want to just learn about IT and work in the IT field, there are IT degrees that you can do, right? This program is for those who are aiming to work in the software industry. That's first very important to understand. Then you have to think about your background. You may have 3 A-level passes, but what is your background in computer programming and IT? Have you ever written and run a computer program? What about mathematics? Have you passed advanced level combined mathematics? What is the grade you got for ordinary level mathematics? Because there is significant mathematics component in this program. And then last but definitely equally important is English. This program is going to be in English. What is your grade for A-level general English? Do you think you have sufficient English skills to do this program? In addition to your background, you have to think about your attitudes. Do you have the attitudes needed by the software industry that I just mentioned? For example, have you done any extracurricular activities when you were in school? Did you participate in social service, either through school or through your religious community? Did you learn any subject in school beyond the syllabus? Did you learn something on your own that was not taught at school? Do you have any hobbies where you have learned on your own? Now, if you have done these things, you are demonstrating that you have some of the attitudes needed by the software industry. If you haven't done these things, it doesn't mean that you cannot come to the software engineering program, but you must be aware that you need to develop some of these attitudes, especially the skill of learning on your own. So the question is, can someone without this background, that means a good background in computer programming, mathematics, and English, can that person do the software engineering program? And we at the Open University say, yes, they can, which is a statement taken from former President Obama. Not only we say, yes, they can, as you will come across later from senior students, we have now evidence because the BSE expanded, updated program is now going to start its 5th year. So we have students who have been with us for 4 years, and some of them are from backgrounds missing computer programming, mathematics, English, or all three, and they are still succeeding, and they are at the top 20% of the class. So you will get a chance to hear from some of them during the awareness programs and later on. So we are there to help you make up for what is missing in your background. When I say we, first of all, the Open University of Sri Lanka, but also the software industry through their association, which is known as SLASSCOM. I will talk about it in a minute in depth. But in addition to that, there are other online resources created by people outside Sri Lanka for anyone in the world to use, which are very useful to help you overcome your background. Right? In the website, through some voice and video clips, you will be able to hear from our brand ambassadors. That means the seniors with a weak background who succeeded. Right? So they are coming to speak at the awareness sessions, and some clips will be on the website. So you can understand from them how they succeeded. This is the role of the Open University of Sri Lanka. Our vision includes the statement equitable learning opportunities. Equitable means equal for all. Your background may be weak, not because you are weak in that background, but because when you were in school, you did not have proper facilities to become strong in that background. Many schools in this country do not offer the physical science stream or combined mathematics as a subject. So then those students in those schools have to do other advanced level subjects. English education may be weak. Similarly, there may not be that many computers or any emphasis on computer programming in the school. So we are going to help you to make up for these things. And in the United Kingdom, the Open University is known as the University of the Second Chance, which is also one of the attitudes that we have in our university. We are here to give you a second chance. We will help you make up for your weak background in many different ways. First of all, there is going to be an induction program. We used to call it the support program, but now we call it the induction program, which means that this is the program that will get you into the software engineering program. This induction program is done only in the software engineering program at the Open University. All other degree programs at the Open University, they do not have anything like the induction program. It has been developed over the last 4 years, and every year we are expanding it. So this I will describe later, but it will start after application, before the selection test and before registration. Selection test is in January and If you pass the selection test, you will register for the program and make your fee payment in February 2026. This induction program is optional but strongly recommended. There is no additional fee beyond the application fee. In this program, we will help you to learn about software engineering and computer programming by pointing you to a variety of free resources. We will help you revise and improve mathematical skills through something known as the Khan Academy, which is also free. Finally, we will point you to resources that can help you improve your English. And this year, we will try to get peer interactions. That means applicants to talk to each other and help each other to develop their English. So this is the induction program, which is a special thing in the software engineering program. The reason we have it is because the software engineering degree program is the most challenging degree program in the whole university. We are taking students from any background and we are going to make them into software engineers. Then there is the regular orientation program of the Open University known as START at OUSL. This begins after registration in February 2026 and consists actually of one course called Empowerment for Independent Learning, which teaches you distance and self-learning skills. In that period, in February, we will also continue the induction program. The academic year for you will probably begin in late March 2026. And once you start that program, there will be two other areas where we will help you make up for the weak background. There are compulsory English courses in our program. They will begin only in July 2026, but you have to do them and they are a requirement. If you do not do these English courses, you cannot go to the higher levels of the program. Finally, we have now included a compulsory bridging mathematics course for those who have not passed advanced level combined mathematics in the first semester. So those students who have not passed A-level combined mathematics have to register and pay for and complete this course before going to the other mathematics courses in the program. So all these have been introduced little by little because we understand how difficult it can be for students with different backgrounds. But we want to help you make up for your weak background if you have it. But you have to do the work. No one is going to come behind you, especially in the induction program. No one is going to come behind you and say, have you done this or have you done that? It's all given to you. You can do it if you want. You cannot do it if you don't want. But we have evidence and the senior students who have succeeded will tell you that they are all for your benefit, right? You have to do the work. That means you have to improve your attitude to learning. You have to learn because you want to learn, not because someone is telling you to learn. That's extremely important. If you cannot change that attitude, then probably you should not come to this program. I will spend some time talking about the features of education at the Open University because it will be new to nearly all of you. At the Open University, we use distance education. First of all, you must understand that there are no regular lectures. Even after registration, some people are writing and asking, when do the lectures begin? Lectures do not begin. How you learn is you learn through printed material, online material, videos, things like that, online tutorials, quizzes, other things that you have to do. But you have to do them at your own pace and on your own schedule. Of course, you have to work for the schedule of the course, but whether you do it on Monday morning or Monday afternoon is up to you. This is very difficult for students to understand and get used to, especially younger students. You have to take the responsibility. Okay, within this week, I have to do all this work, right? But whether I do it on Monday or Tuesday, it's up to me. That is distance education. So you will be learning most of the time where you live or wherever you learn. It could be at your home, or some people are lucky, they have a job, but they can take 2 or 3 hours during the working hours even to learn something. Some people learn during the time they travel in the bus and the train. At whatever time you can learn at your own pace. Now, some activities you have to come in person and do in designated places. There are examinations for every course. There are examinations in the middle of the semester and there is a final examination. Then there are programming laboratory classes. For these activities, you have to come to one of our 26 centers. You do not have to come to Colombo. We have 9 regional centers, one in every province, and 17 study centers where this program will be delivered. So you have to come to those centers, establish your identity, and do the examination or the laboratory, the computer laboratory class. Now all this learning is coordinated through a learning management system. If you come to the Open University, the words learning management system and the letters LMS will become part of your everyday language. You will get a preview of an LMS in the induction program because we are going to use an LMS for the induction program as well. Like I said, we have a network of 9 regional centers and 19 study centers, but 1 or 2 of them may not be used for the BSE. What they do is, first of all, they do academic administration. So all of these centers are centers where you can go and register and you can collect your books. I said we teach by printed material based on, once you pay the fees, you can collect the books for the course. You do not have to come to Colombo. The books are going to be sent to this center. And once you show that you have paid the fees for a certain course, you can collect the books. So they do academic administration. Nearly all of them have computer clusters with an internet connection. So you can do some learning activities through these computer clusters as well. It's very important to understand that a student registered at one center, any center, whether it is Monaragala or Vaunia or Mullaitivu, can use the facilities in all the centers. So they can come to Kandy, Jaffna or Colombo. They have the right to go to the university, inside the university, use the library and use the computer centers after a reservation. There is nothing special about Colombo. Many students make the mistake of selecting Colombo in the application because they think there is some magic there. Please select the center that is convenient for you to do the selection test and all your other academic activities. Another very important feature is flexible course selection. In other educational institutions, you join a program and every year or every semester, there is a certain number of courses that everybody does. That's not the case at the Open University. You can select to do the number of courses based on your other responsibilities and your background and your financial situation. Because you have to pay for these things. If you're already working and you don't have the time, then maybe you will take a smaller number of courses. So the program has no set duration. Even though we say 4 years, it's a minimum of 4 years. You can decide, I can't do it in 4 years. I have a weak background. I want to take first year lightly, get used to this whole thing. So then I will say, okay, I will do it in 5 or 6 years. So you can do it up to a maximum of 12 years. You can get your degree and you can adjust your schedule every year. If you suddenly get a job, then the second year maybe you will take fewer courses because the job is useful to you. You can work while following the software engineering program because there are no regular lectures. You have to come to the centers only at very limited number of times. You can work during the other time. However, managing work and study is your responsibility, right? Examinations are not rescheduled just for you. If we schedule an examination, and many of them are scheduled on weekdays, not only on weekends, right? We have exams and other activities on weekdays and weekends. So if it is scheduled on Wednesday and you say, I have an important meeting at work, well, that is too bad, because we are not going to reschedule the examination just for you. So that is your responsibility. If you are working, you have to manage the two things on your own. Finally, and extremely importantly, you must understand at the very beginning, even before you apply, that distance education does not mean less work for you. It actually means more. If you take 33 credits, which is the full load for the first year, and you calculate that, we estimate that 1 credit a student has to do a minimum of 50 hours of work. Each semester has 15 weeks, so the academic year has 30 weeks. If you do the mathematics here, you will find that 33 credits means that over the 30 weeks, you have to work a minimum of 55 hours per week. That means 8 hours a day for all 7 days of the week. If you want to keep 1 day for other things, then what does it mean? It means more than 9 hours a day you have to work on your own. That is why it means more work. When you go to a lecture and learn together and study together, learning happens quicker. Here you have to learn on your own. There is no one next to you to ask questions. You can ask questions on the learning management system, but the answer may take a few hours to come. So learning is a bit slower. So it takes more time, not less. Please be realistic about that. Even after you apply, we will spend a lot of time explaining this to you, because we do not want you to take courses where you are going to fail. Another very important thing is your resources. We think that you must have access to a computer with an internet connection to follow this program. It doesn't have to be your own computer, but it has to be one that you can use for several hours of every day. You cannot follow this course on only a smartphone, right? The size of the screen and the fact that you have to run different programs, you can't do all that on a smartphone, or you can, but it's very difficult and time consuming. So you need a computer with a good internet connection at home or wherever you will learn, right? Don't forget that even though computers and internet are available at all our centers, the centers are not open during the evenings and on Sundays and Mondays. I have not included it here, but most centers are closed on Sundays and Mondays. So the amount of time where the computers are available is limited, and other students will also be wanting to use them. So for this program, you should have a computer with an internet connection. If you get some employment, very likely you will get employment to work from home, and that's another reason for you to have these resources. I mentioned SLASSCOM. SLASSCOM is the Sri Lanka Association of Software Service Companies, and they are very keen that everybody who comes into the industry have the proper background. They don't want to waste time teaching very simple things to people who come to the industry. So they have set up resources for anyone, not just Open University students or university students, for anyone, school leavers, even still students who are still in school can look at these resources and learn. I'm going to show you the SLASSCOM website and the SLASSCOM Academy website, and then later on we will talk about something very important called the Future Careers Bridge, which at the moment that website is not available because it is being upgraded. So you have to look for it. We will tell you also. In sometime in November, it will be available again, but it is very important. We will talk more about it later on. Right now, I will just quickly show you the two other websites. This is the SLASSCOM website where you can get various basic information about the industry. But more important for people like you is maybe the SLASSCOM Academy website, which is here, which has some learning materials for those who are interested in various aspects of the software industry. They also run programs for schools and so on. So you can look at these resources if you are interested. In fact, if you have the right attitude, as soon as you finish this presentation, you should be going and checking out these resources. In addition to providing these resources for anybody, SLASSCOM has a special link to the Bachelor of Software Engineering program at the Open University. The revised curriculum that was first deployed in 2021 was developed after extensive consultation with SLASSCOM, and from 2026 there will be a revised and further revision of the curriculum in which they have been involved. So they help with that. They also help with industry interactions. They help us organize some site visits for some students or for even the lecturers. And they also let us know about interesting webinars that are useful to students. And they have also given some selected students chances to participate in various activities at certain companies. All that we coordinate with the industry through SLASSCOM. Finally, SLASSCOM is also involved in our career fair. So they help us when we call the industry to interview selected students so that they can be obtaining training places or internships or later on even employment. So after 2 years, usually, students who are successful are selected for a career fair, which we have every year. And SLASSCOM helps us to talk to the companies and bring them to the Open University so that they interview these students. So after application, we will start the Induction Program, which is going to support you to overcome your weaknesses. Last year and the previous 3-4 years, it has been called the Support Program, but now we have developed this new name because that is a better name. It is to get you into the BSE program. The first thing we will do in early November is enroll you into a temporary learning management system. After you register, you will be put into the official learning management system of the university, where you will learn your courses. But we will have a temporary learning management system, and we will now have a quick look at what is a learning management system. So I am showing you the temporary learning management system that we used last year. The one that you will be taken to will look very similar to this. And a learning management system is basically a web page, and it will look maybe quite a bit like Facebook or some of the other social media platforms that you are used to. On this web page, we have various sections, and we have sections with information. For example, it's important for you to know where your regional centers are. So we give you all that information. This is a link to a video which introduces you to a learning management system. We have notice board where we, the teachers, will be giving you announcements like we have been doing here. And we also have, very importantly, discussion forums. That is the key part of the learning management system. This is where you can ask questions and you can also answer questions that have been put forward by other students. So here, if you look at these questions, you will see that many people have posted questions, and then, for example, this is a question I have answered, other students have discussed, and then we have closed the topic. So this is a very important part of a learning management system. It's a discussion forums, and it's like being in a class where you ask the teacher a question, but the answer will come in one day. right? Hopefully less than a day, but in one day the answer will come. So this is how distance education works. And it's very important to get used to it, not to feel shy. If you have a question, you have to ask it. That is showing the right attitude for the program. If you are too shy to ask a question, then you will never progress, and we don't also know that you have a question, right? So we have this, and one section that is going to be very important to you as soon as you apply is a section about the selection test. Here we have a practice test that we had, and we had forums to discuss how to sit the test and so on. And of course, this is last year's. So here the link after the results are out where students could find out the result of their selection test. So you will see something like this in November. And once you apply, you will be brought into this in November. Now, I also want to show you at the same time what the learning management system looks like for your courses. This is one course that everyone who comes into the program newly with basic qualifications will do this course in the first 2 semesters. And it looks the same, and there are forums and so on, and there are different sections, and each section will have some videos, some web links, and some places to ask questions and so on, right? So different courses will be laid out a little differently, but there are places to submit. Here you go, a quiz that you have to do, and there are many, many features like this in a learning management system, right? This is something where you have to submit something, yeah? So this is what a learning management system looks like. We will use it for the induction program, and we will use it to help you learn all your courses during the software engineering program. We have a separate one during the academic year called learner support. So all the questions that you have about the course, not about your subjects, but about examination schedules or payments or any other problem you have with administration, you bring it all here. You do not have to ask seniors, you do not have to waste time making telephone calls or going to your center to ask a question. Students waste a lot of time doing those things. In the software engineering program only, we are the only program that maintains a learning management system section called learner support, where you can ask questions and you will get your answers, right? So this will be available right through the program for you, so that you do not have to waste your time finding out answers and be worried if you don't get answers from other sources. So this is a learning management system, and this is how we will use it. So now we have learned about a learning management system, and we know that we will use that to prepare for the selection test, which is on the 4th of January. There will be practice tests and other resources on the learning management system. During this induction program, we will learn about the Open University, we will learn about the BSE program, some more, the guidebook, all that will be available. And after you pass the selection test, we prepare for registration. We will give you all that information through this temporary learning management system. Now, in addition to that, we are going to help you in that learning management system. We will give you some online resources so that you can develop your English. We will help you to use resources like the Khan Academy for mathematics, and we will help you to begin learning about computer programming through many other resources, which I will talk about. We will have various lectures and other activities related to software engineering coordinated through that learning management system. Now I will show you again a few of the things that I just talked about. One very important resource that has been available on the internet for maybe about 15 years now, or a little bit less than 15 years, is edX. It's a platform to deliver all kinds of free online courses. And in particular, we will be encouraging students or applicants who do not know any computer programming. If you have no knowledge of computer programming, we will be helping you follow this course, right? And this course, there's one that is starting on the 22nd of October, so you can learn it along with 267,000 other people. We will help you to set up an account and get started. It is all free. And here, this is a subject that is taught at Harvard University, one of the world's leading universities. Even in that university in America, they have people who come in to the undergraduate program who do not know any computer programming. So they have developed some basic courses, including this one, to introduce them to computers and computer programming. We will be pointing you to these courses, but of course, like I said, it's optional. We are not going to come behind you. It's up to you to follow this course. This year, we will get some volunteers from the senior students maybe to help you with getting over your first difficulties, but you have to do the course. Now, the University of Moratuwa in this country has developed a completely free course with these 6 components. Of course, these things you will also learn in your software engineering program. But if you want to know what software engineering is like, even before you register, you can go and look at this course. Again, it is completely free. You just have to create an account and start looking at it. And you can understand what these subjects are and what you have to do in software engineering. Another very important resource is the Khan Academy, where there are resources related to mathematics and computer programming, and we will be pointing you to those resources and especially giving you some ideas if you only have O-level mathematics, how to check whether you still remember the mathematics. It is so many years since you did the mathematics. So we will be telling you how to create an account here, and we will be giving you some exercises to do. It is up to you to do them. You are not going to get any marks from us. If you do them or you don't do them, there will be no difference to your registration or your marks in the other subjects. But this is again a chance for you to say, okay, I need this, I will do it. We will help you get into the site and explain how to do the activities, but you have to do the activities. So this is the induction program. It will help you answer all the questions you have. It will get you started for the selection test, and it will help you improve your background in these 3 important areas: English, mathematics, and computer programming. There is also something very important called the Future Careers Bridge, which I will talk about in detail in the next slide. The Future Careers Bridge is an initiative of SLASSCOM, which once again I'll tell you is the Sri Lanka Association of Software and Service Companies. This website was developed about 6 or 7 years ago. Now, please note that it is at the moment down because it is being upgraded, and the upgraded site will be available from November. So if you go to this site now, you will not see very much and you will not be able to create an account. Now, this website is not for Open University students. It is a pathway for anybody, any school leaver or anyone without a regular qualification to enter the industry. What they have there, and we will have a look at it in a minute, is a set of challenges for people to complete. They give you a challenge, some very simple things, as you will see, and then they want you to complete it. Now, if you set up your account so that other people can see your progress, then the industry people will be able to see who have completed all these challenges, and they will invite these people for interviews. Right? You will hear from even our own students who got their first industry contact not through our career fair, but because they did the Future Careers Bridge. There are follow-up programs. People who are doing well on the Future Careers Bridge, including our students, are taken for follow-up programs by SLASSCOM and then introduced also to the industry. Now, you will see that the first set of challenges, what they call the fundamental challenges, are mostly related to communication skills and communication skills that use information technology. Now we have a compulsory course on communication skills in our program. Now the Future Careers Bridge is telling us these are the communication skills that the industry wants. So it is obvious what we have done is we have included the Future Careers Bridge challenges into our first semester course on communication skills, right? So for that reason also, this is a very important thing. And since the selection test has general knowledge about the software industry and the Future Careers Bridge is about the software industry, then this is a good place to go to find out information about the software industry that may appear on the selection test. Now, I'm going to give you a clip from last year's awareness session based on what the site looked like last year. Please note that the moment the site is down and when the site comes up again, it may look a little different. We will help you understand the differences once it is up again. But right now, this clip is what it looked like last year.
So anyone can go and make an account. So I strongly recommend that if you have any serious interest in the BSE, you should click on the new user and register. You can register by email or by phone, and you should join this website. Once you create an account and log in, you will come to this area and you will see these different challenges. You have the fundamental challenges, and we'll have a look at that in a minute. But there are also other challenges related to areas of the software industry, software development, cyber security, and so on. As you can see, so many different tracks. And in each track, you will have some tasks to do. I will show you the fundamental challenges here. You can go and look at them. Some of them are extremely simple. They start with basically just using email and creating a blog. And if you get started, what they will do is, it will explain to you what you have to do. It will give you some information to read, maybe a video for you to watch, and tell you what to do to complete the task. All the challenges have all this information. All you have to do is read it and do it. So if you look at the fundamental challenges, except for two related to computer programming, you will see that they are all related to communication, including two related to English. Right?
The Future Careers Bridge has been very important for your senior students. For example, the very first batch of students, 22 out of 50 selected from the Future Careers Bridge for what SLASSCOM called a boot camp were from the BSE program, and some of these students went on to internships and jobs. We look at whether you have completed the Future Careers Bridge challenges before we send you to the career fair. Why do we do that? Because the companies will also be looking to see whether this student has done the Future Careers Bridge. So if you haven't done it, then that means you're not showing that you have the right attitude. And if you have done those challenges, they can ask you questions on what you have done also. If you have done nothing outside your curriculum, then like I said, the industry will not be wanting you, right? They want people who are interested in learning by themselves, who have demonstrated that they can learn and do something by themselves and put it out on the internet for everyone to see. That is the attitude that you have to get. Similarly, we will be looking at whether you have completed the challenges before we select students for additional activities like site visits, give you special projects, and things like that. Now, this presentation has gone on for a long time, probably about 45 minutes, and so many things have been thrown at you, you may be thinking, very likely you are thinking, I am not sure I can do this. That is very natural. This is a challenging program and so many things may be new to you. But we say, sure, everybody will feel like that, not only you. We will help you find out whether you can do this. That is why we have the induction program, right? The induction program is free. Only the application fee is necessary. And you can apply, begin the induction program like I showed you. So many things will be there for you to do. Once the Future Careers Bridge site comes up in November, you can register there and begin the challenges. Again, we will help you with that. And you understand what the industry is doing. You develop some skills and confidence. You sit the selection test 4th of January. And if you are selected, obviously, you continue the induction program. Now, once the selection test is over, we will give you some taste courses. We will give you a small part of some of the courses you will do in the first semester. So you will understand what learning is like in the Open University. Of course, and we will counsel you. We will give you lots of information and advice before the registration. Why are we doing all this? We want you to take an informed decision. First of all, whether to register or not, right? It is quite all right to, after doing all these activities, to say, okay, no, I can't do this or I don't want to do this. I have something else to do. You may go to a different program. It may be better than the software engineering program. Whatever reason, you don't register. That is fine. But if you do register, the next thing is how many courses are you taking? It's very important to take an appropriate course load. We strongly recommend that students with these weaknesses don't take a full course load. You take a smaller number of courses and make sure you do them well and learn. So we will give you all this help, and after you pass the selection test, you can do it until February to decide whether you are actually coming to the program or not, right? All that help is coming for only the price of the application fee. I will now tell you something about the selection test. The selection test will be held on Sunday, the 4th of January. It will be held on site, which means that you have to come to one of our centers to do it, and it will be paper-based. You will be marking your answers or writing your answers on a piece of paper that will be collected. The test will be held at all 9 regional centers and at 17 study centers. These centers are listed on your application, and you must take the test at the center you select on the application form. Please select carefully. It is very difficult to change after you make that selection. Like I said before, there is no magic in selecting Colombo. All the centers are the same. You will get the same test under the same conditions. So if you are living, for example, in Hatton, then please select Hatton as your center so that you can take the test easily. The format of the test is as follows. It consists of 2 sections. First, there are multiple choice questions, and these questions will be based on ordinary level mathematics and the advanced level common general paper that you should be familiar with. There will also be questions on general knowledge related to IT and software engineering. The second section will be English comprehension section, where we will test your skills in reading and understanding and then writing something. The details of the test and maybe 1 or 2 practice papers will be on the Induction Program Learning Management System, as I have already shown you. I would also like to mention something about course fees, because the Open University is the only state university that charges fees. Why do we charge fees? It is because the government grant that we get, the government funding, is only for salaries of permanent staff and certain capital expenses like construction of buildings and maybe large-scale purchase of equipment. All the other expenses that we have many temporary staff, so their salaries and also all the operating expenses, the water and electricity bills, the paper, the printing costs and maintenance for everything, those costs are raised by charging students fees. In general, we can say that student fees are about 30% of total expenses at the Open University. For the Bachelor of Software Engineering, fees are charged per credit. Each course has a certain credit rating, and per credit, the fee is about 4,500 for the coming year, 4,500 rupees. And there will be an annual increase in these fees, which will be 10% or less. There are other fees, the library fee and the IT fee and so on, that you have to pay, but they are not significant when compared to the course fees. For every academic year that you register, you have to pay your fees in 2 installments. At the registration, for you, your first registration will be in February 2026. You have to pay 50% of the course fee plus the other fees. And at the start of the second semester, you will be asked to pay your second installment of 50% of the course fee, which for you should be around August or September 2026. Now, the fee is based on the number of credits, and for the first year, the maximum number of credits that you can take, full course load for the first year, is 33 credits. So you should be prepared to pay about 80,000 rupees in February. So, as a summary of everything that I have presented today, starting. So finally, we come to the summary of everything I have presented today. First of all, the software engineering program at the Open University is a pathway to a rewarding career in the software industry. But it is not easy. It is not just another degree program. You should enroll in this program only if you want to work in the software industry. If you want just a basic degree, you can go and do some other program. The 4-year total program fees is about 650,000, but if you take longer than 4 years to complete it, that figure will increase because of the annual increase in fees. The program is delivered mostly online, but you have to come to our centers for examinations and some computer sessions. In addition, to complete the program, you have to do 6 months of training on site. That means physically attending the company premises where you work. So if you are doing some other job, such as teaching, you will have to take 6 months of that job to satisfy the training requirement. Successful students who have done 2 years of courses and completed most of the Future Careers Bridge are sent to our career fair, which happens every year. And through that, if they want, they can obtain internships and employment. Some students decide to look for employment only after completing all 4 years. Now, as we have been spending a lot of time telling you, this program welcomes students without much background in English, computer programming, and mathematics. But you have to join the induction program and identify the areas where you have to improve and use those resources to improve your skills. Improving your skills is your responsibility, not our responsibility. If you pass the selection test, then you can begin the Start at OUSL orientation program and also continue the induction program in February 2026. When you register in February 2026, you should take an informed decision on how many courses you will follow. For more information and to answer your questions, please use the following resources. We have a program web page, and that web page has a section on frequently asked questions. So please look at that section before you send any questions by email, for example. We will have online awareness sessions on these 2 dates, and there may be other sessions as well. And the Zoom links are on the website and also in the promotional materials that have been circulated, where you can ask questions and also you can listen to successful senior students tell you about how they have become successful. Email questions should come to this email address bseinfo@ousl.lk. Please use the subject line properly. When you ask a question, put the proper subject in the subject line and state your name and your question carefully in the email. We expect to give you a response within 24 hours. Thank you.